investigation. This boy has...
It's not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
It's not, really? It is to me. Rise, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough.
but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
It's not, really? It is to me.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to...
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her... But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
What's going on, everybody? How are you this evening? Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz, and I know that there are a lot of people that do follow this case. Scotty Morris found safe in Eaton, Indiana. Missing 14-year-old boy has been found safe. Quote, "We have one of the best updates to give. Scotty has been located and found safe. Medics are checking him out right now." The Eaton Police Department wrote on Facebook. So, very good news. Very, very good news there. Wow, yeah, that's a great thing. It's just never really expect these things to end so well, but it did, and hopefully that young man gets the attention and care that he needs going forward in his life. If you haven't subbed over to Lab After Dark and you would like to, if you like that kind of after dark thing, then sub up. I talked about my father not showing up for his parole hearing, which was a blessing. And so we talked about that. We talk about all kinds of just ridiculous stuff. Okay, let's just put it that way. The live call-in number, and I will be taking phone calls periodically, 858-299-2504 is the number to call. And so go ahead and if you feel so inclined. Mary, very good to see you. How are you doing this evening, Mary? Thank you for being here. There's and if you do follow the After Dark channel, you heard a little preview the other day of the podcast 110 Ben Hill, and I'm going to play just a minute of that. It's like a 2-minute preview. Some of you have heard this, some of you haven't, but this is, I'm going to play it here just in a second, and then I'll take your calls. We can discuss We can discuss basically any case that you'd like. Obviously, I know that a lot of people are here for the Summer Wells case, and we are absolutely prepared to talk about that with you. As that case inevitably moves forward. So, without further ado, let's just play the preview. Oh, maybe not. Now we will. We got this, I think. In the quiet rural hills of East Tennessee, there remains a secret that tens of thousands collectively hold their breath about daily. A secret that would be so damaging to a certain few that they will do anything to make sure that secret doesn't get out. When you live in an apartment complex or have a next door neighbor that you share a fence with, you have to be quiet about your actions that paints you in a light that you don't desire the world to know about. Doing what is right isn't always the easiest thing. Lying to a police officer about how fast you're going is a self-preservation lie. It's a common lie. If in fact the lie works to your advantage, you've at least saved some money on a ticket and possible insurance spikes. You can understand why someone would not want to be truthful about that. Take that lie and times it by 1,000. Raise the stakes to life and death, freedom, or imprisonment. Couple that with the attitude of what's done is done and it can't be changed, and you've described the Summer Wells case. Without pointing fingers, what's at stake is more than imprisonment or freedom. Those things are important. It's about doing the right thing. It's about a selfless act. Each additional search after the initial weeks of searches have been focused on waterways and the deep foliage of the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, an area that even the people of interest in this case say lures all kinds of unsavory characters. Going back to the apartment building or the close neighbors example, isolation is good for a lot of things. Peace and quiet, privacy, not much traffic. Think about isolation on a dead-end road. Think about all the secrets that hill holds. So there it is. There's your little, it's the beginning of the first episode, and it will be dropping soon. I'm still just working out a couple things. So, like I said, it's on the way. It's on its way. And it's a big undertaking, to be honest with you. And so, I thought that it would be a little easier of a production since it's just an audio podcast, but it's not. It's probably harder. I'm not really sure. It's just a lot, but it's something that I have committed to doing, and something that I will. And here's the thing. Okay, so this is a great question. Let's see. Well, at least I think it's a great question. I can't put it on the screen yet. Let me see. Hold on. It is a great question, to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay. So, okay, there it is. Where is it going to be? So here's where it's going to be. It's going to be hosted by Podbean and Podbean will distribute it. That will be the host for the podcast, and you'll be able to basically get the podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Google Podcast. I'm trying to think. iHeart, TuneIn, pretty much any like major streaming platform you'll be able to get it on. So that will be soon. And so basically what'll happen is as soon as the host site is live, there won't be any content on it until the first episode drops, but I will provide you with that link, and you'll be able to whatever your favorite one is to use. Spotify's free. They're all, I mean, all of them are. The podcast is free. The podcast is free, so it won't, like, you don't have to worry about, it's not going to be behind a paywall or anything like that. You'll be able, anybody will be able to access that podcast. And for those that aren't on Spotify or Apple, we will be more than willing to help you or provide you the steps to get set up. It's very, very simple. So I just want people to understand that. Yeah, let me see here. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Can you hear me okay on your side of town?
I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good, and I wanted to ask you a serious question and then a funny question.
All right.
Are you glad, are you relieved that this week is over?
Yes, I am.
Yes, because, okay, glad for you and your family.
Thank you.
And I'm sure everyone in and subs are too. So I listened. Well, I could tell last night you were in a better mood because I had to watch it on replay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know that I always question you on the creative process. You added the thunderstorm, right? That was you that added it while they were going at it?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then the clip, you clipped that at a previous.
So that was a real clip. So that was from a conversation with PG where she was laying into Trevor Lee. And
I heard you explain that, but oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then, so basically
really?
she what happened was she was like rallying against, like gay people. And not that Trevor's gay. I'm just saying that was her thing, right? Yeah, she was accusing.
It was a longer like thing. Okay.
Yeah, and then so that's
it was
where
a general attack.
Yeah,
okay.
But that's where the backside comments and stuff came from, and
but the way. Well,
yeah, I chopped it up. I chopped it up for sure.
I sound like her. What was that? Epitome Epiphany.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Hold on, I think I still have
Then
it.
all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.
Right. So that, yeah. Yeah, that's still on the soundboard.
I don't know what it was, but it was exactly what I needed today. And I'm sure a lot of people, if they listened to it last night and today, but the whole situation is ridiculous.
Then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while
Oh, stop. Ridiculous.
Uh,
The whole thing is, and especially, I have this thing with the whole Christian, and then they go at it so nasty.
Yeah, that's my
What was that
favorite.
thing about turning? They're also Old Testament. I'm a really New Testament kind of girl.
yeah, no, I mean,
With Jesus.
it
That's how I
gets
separate
rough.
that type of. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just that like, and so I have that little like, not that one. It's like that little stormy sound effect. Oh, that's the wrong one. But
the ooh one's new. I love the kids doing you.
right.
Yeah, that all for the whole thing.
That's anytime I really
The
cover
wrath of God.
that situation. Anytime I talk about it, it just it
The wrath of God.
reminds me of the rapture.
What is that? I've never heard that term in my life.
Well, it's when God comes
Is
back
that-
and takes all the Christians to heaven and leaves all the crappy people behind.
Okay, but that is not in a Roman Catholic religion, I don't believe.
I don't know. I don't think
A
so.
Catholic. No, there is no such thing as the world ending, as far as I know, and
Yeah, no,
other
it's
than
just
Noah.
it's what one religion believes. So, well, I think it's what a couple
Right.
of them believe, but it's what people from the Southern Baptist region or Pentecostal region kind of believe, and that's what I grew up being
Right.
taught. So I was freaked out all the
Oh
time.
wow! I would be.
Yeah, it was.
I think that's a really concept for children, adults. Never mind, but there's a. Stop with that. I don't know why they do that.
you have to
because
take.
it is
You're
the
gonna have
wrath
to take
of
that up with
God.
Peyton.
No, that's all. He's perfect. And actually, isn't that sort of the basis with that whole Lori Vallow nut case? That case was sort of along those lines.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, like it's the doomsday prophecy type stuff.
Oh my God!
But there's
None of
nothing
that,
worse
I
than
don't
nothing
believe.
worse than extremists. You know what I mean? And that's
The
what.
serious thing I remember, I had Catholic school till 8th grade and high school. So I was in Catholic school, until I went to college. Hell, going to hell was the worst thing. And then there's Catholic guilt. You feel guilty forever. Like you do anything that is bad, or you always feel bad. You
right.
call someone a name, you're bad. You don't know. But
Yeah,
but
it's,
I have to say that was what. I'm sorry.
well, Celeste is right. Basically, the picture that they paint is that you'll see like the clothes of the people lying around, and so yeah, everything stays except the body. So they'll just be like car wrecks and I don't know, all kinds of.
I'm sorry.
Look, hey,
I'm sorry.
hey, I grew up.
Don't some people predict the day and date sometimes on the nose?
Yeah, yes,
Doesn't
people.
that happen?
Yeah, people have been predicting the end of the world since I think it probably began, and nobody's got it right yet.
Yeah, I'm not particularly worried about it, but I could see having anxiety if you were brought up to believe that, and you already have anxiety.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds.
I'm not
Really.
laughing at you. It's very foreign to me, so it's very out there. I just can't even. And then when they do start going at it, when they drop all these words on their show, and it is sort of, the wrath of God, and like they just go at it and bring it, and I'm like, oh boy, this is just not my kind of channel,
Right.
because they really don't practice what they preach, in my opinion. It's like you need to look in the mirror, and what's that expression, and then I'll wrap it up, because I could go on for hours, and I won't do that. And you won't let me. What is that thing that you do what I say, not as I do. That's what I keep feeling off of their religious like references and their behavior versus their Christian. So I don't want to say values, personas.
Right.
That's more like it.
Right.
It's very distorted when you listen. But I have to say, you took it last night and brought it so it really, rather than being like, oh my God, I can't stand them and crazy, but I have to listen for a little while.
Yeah, it's
because
comical.
what are they? But they can't, like Candace being on there, and what are they saying to her now? I get in there and they ignore every question I ask, and I'm not rude.
No.
I get totally ignored, but I don't get blocked. I'm totally ignored. No one answers the question. That's fine because they want to give her a safe space, I suppose. And that's their right, you know. But you took that arguing and that and you really did elevate it to a classic clip or two.
Thank you.
And I gotta say, how do you come up with this stuff? Because it really is pretty funny, hysterical.
Most of it's mental illness, probably.
You?
Yeah.
Well, but no,
Yeah.
that's it's a creative process. It's not
Well,
mental.
some people call it creative,
Okay.
some people call it mental, and some people, yeah.
Oh, that kind of mental. Yeah, hashtag mental.
No,
okay.
like mental illness. Yes.
No, it's not mental illness. It's people that are creative do have this, like, no, I get it. Remember I told you about the sarcasm?
Yeah, well, Van
Like,
Gogh
there's
cut his
a
ear
form
off,
of
and he was a
sarcasm.
genius.
Yeah, there's a form of the sarcasm in that humor. And then you think up that, and I think that's a skill. Not everybody has it.
Yeah, look, I definitely have some strength, and that's what I'm saying. It's funny because if I were a clip channel, I would like, oh my God. I would just, but
Well, maybe that's what it
well, I just
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. Like, while it would be fun and things like that, it would just, it would. I would be very
a rabbit hole for you.
well. I'd be good at a clip channel. That's it. That's all I'm saying. But I have no desire to do that. But and there are some good clip channels. But like, yeah, I could do a clip channel. It'd be a ton of fun.
Well, you really have incorporated sound effects, like, to an nth degree, and I see it getting better, like, even from a year or two ago. Not that you weren't good a year or two ago,
No,
a year and a half ago.
No, it was bad. But yeah, I've
You were not bad. You weren't bad.
well,
But anyways, that's for another
by my
day.
standards, when I look back on the things that I've done, I like, it's. But yes, the production is always a work in progress. So, but yeah,
I found something.
like this is classic.
Then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.
I'm going to be.
Then all of a sudden, you got this
Why do they
epitome
make you
while
laugh?
they're able to come up on your panel.
Right. So I don't know. It's like my favorite.
Okay. You know what? Have you ever heard the little like thing where I'm the person, like if you see people fall or trip, it's incongruous and you don't expect to see it. That's why people bust out laughing.
Right.
And other people go run over and are you okay? Are you okay? So the person that busts out laughing is kind of seen as rude.
Right. You're right. Exactly.
And I was on that side. And yeah, if that's what it is. When you throw those things in, you're not expecting them.
Right.
And it totally kept, so I fell at laughing. And everybody I know last night was, because they had them in the chat, but it was really.
Yeah, it catches you off guard a little bit.
Say. No, but it was so, but I'm telling you, what I'm trying to say, I guess, is to sum up, is
Yeah. It
doesn't take much Josh, to make me laugh.
No,
How's
I
that?
understand.
Just maybe
I
I'm
get
not
it. I'm not that different.
what I guess I'm saying. I don't know what the hell I was going to say.
Somebody's smoking the Laffy tobacco.
But I'm not. No, it's just I really love stuff like that
No,
you
I
don't
know.
see it coming, you don't expect. And it really, I guess what I was going to say is I really needed the laugh. And it was you really put it all together last night and took them and elevated them to a level that instead of being annoyed and like, just stop it, you people, like you're just crazy and me getting all serious about it.
Right.
It's just, you took it to a whole other level that I think a lot of people need to do with that.
Right. Well, it's just like everybody takes everything so personal on here and like it's, you know, I don't really care that much about anybody on, you know, when it comes to creators, but you know, I don't, but do I find things interesting? Do I find them funny? Oh, big time. Big time.
Did you have to build a thicker skin? Did you have to get a thicker skin or did you have it to begin with?
I had it was okay, but now it's just it's like armadillo.
Okay, yeah, you would have to because I don't think I'd survive. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, a lot of people don't, unfortunately, and a lot of good ones just are like, oh, I'm out of here. But you know, it's whatever. Like people say things about you, make fun of you, tell you you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, and then you go, look at this person. Like, look at this person who's saying this about me, and then I'm like, okay, it's it's considered the source.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it, the source.
Yeah.
It's so funny you said that because this is neither here nor there, and I'll wrap up. Is that going on sort of in my family life right now? And I'm the one like getting all the grief. And I was really bothered, and now I consider the source. So you're right, it does apply in lots of situations, but
No
especially
doubt.
when you're out there like they're out there.
No doubt about it. You have to consider the source. And it's like, well, can you believe so-and-so said that about you? And you're like, yeah, actually I can. Totally.
Mhm.
Because
No, but
why else? You know, why else?
yeah, well, it takes, even after many years, I think I just still get caught off guard, expecting people to be different, but that's beside the point.
Right.
And what you did, I think, hit home last night because you took something that I think we all like listen to them and we all have comments and everyone in chat, like you can just tell everybody is just like, come on already. And they have the supporters, you have the supporters, TG has the supporters.
Yeah, for sure.
But you took it to a level, you just totally made it exactly what it needed to be. Totally and utterly ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Shoot.
Oh yeah, you were laughing like crazy, which was making it even funnier, especially towards the word thing. And then when you did the clip, like towards the end, it was hysterical.
Right. Yeah. No, it was. It was one of those things where it was pretty organic how it happened, and it was a blast.
Yeah, but I have to say that it's one of the funniest. I mean, you have funny shows, but that one with everything going on, like with these channels, and even I'm sure other people can relate in personal lives. Never mind what you went through this week. It was totally needed.
Yeah.
I can say from my point of view, it was needed.
I think so too.
Without having, yeah, it's one of those weeks for everyone on some level. So thank you for that. It was really creative.
Karen, thank you for calling in. I always appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you and the show. So have a good night.
All right. See you soon.
And
Bye-bye.
keep up the fun.
I sure will. I promise.
On the sound. Okay, take care.
Great caller. Always a great caller. Let's see. Rox says I'm going to have to watch last night's show. It's only on Lab After Dark. But yes, we have a good time. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, man, Owl Guy.
How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Good. That lady, I've heard that lady a couple times. She is hilarious.
Yeah, she's great. She's a great caller.
Just nice. It's nice to hear some laughter out there. This is really dark stuff, and you got to kind of have a sense of humor when looking this stuff in the face, and it's just nice to hear some people are able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Also, I like your cap, and
thank you.
Where'd you get it?
It's a local store called Picky Picky, and it's just like an outdoorsy store.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, on to the next caller.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, and thank you. No more. Remember we discussed the dingo eating the baby. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Nothing's out of the question, Al Guy. Appreciate you calling though.
Have a good weekend.
Take care, dude. Thank you. Bye-bye. So, tomorrow I will have a show put together. And we're going to be going over some things that are very, the more information that we get, or the more the further along this case moves, not necessarily from an information standpoint, but more so just time. When you're looking back on certain things and you go, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Why did this happen? And all of those things are very, you just kind of scratch your head. We watched the interview with Josie and Dawn, although Josie wasn't talking, but there's something else there that I want to discuss and we will discuss as well. Dawn's ulcer's in the house, and so that thing might be burning up a little bit tomorrow. I've reached out to Donald to kind of give him the heads up. I don't know. Yep, we talked about that. Yes, he was. I don't know if he'll get back to me. Not that I really care. But, I just want to give him the courtesy. If he can, he's got all these, he's got all this help now. Sassy Brenda says, I felt left out for missing last night's show, but I'm going to watch it. Well, please do. Please do. Please. Yeah. Did you guys see the thing about, he won't call. He won't call because the same exact thing would happen this time as it did last time. And I'm not really here to spare Don's feelings. I know exactly who he is. I know exactly what he does. I know exactly the kind of dude that he is. And he's your fair weather, like nice guy until you say something that he doesn't agree with. Then you're a mother effer and, where's that thing that, let me find that picture that Tim, see if I can find that. I didn't have it ready and I should have had it ready, but I didn't have it ready and I should have had it. He's all mouth, but wait till you hear tomorrow what we're going to talk about, because it's something that we don't really talk about, or that hasn't really been covered much But I think it's very, very important and kind of tells a whole lot more than I think that we've kind of thought. Where's that stupid bus photo of that idiot? Oh, here it is. Hold on. I'm going to put it on the screen because it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Let me see if I can. Might as well address this. Cool. Here. Why does it not work? Why does it do that? Let me just change it to a JPEG. Sorry. Actually, a PGN would be better. Photo. 1 second. All right, so I'm just going to put the picture up there. Done. And why is everything so difficult? All right, here it goes. Okay, that didn't work either. Why is this not working? I hate this. I hate it. Okay, well, it's not working. That's great. Not great. All right, there we go. Stupidest. All right, so I don't know. Tomorrow's show does fall on the Sabbath, yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is a good one. It's hilarious. Like, the best. Huh? So this is the Find Summerwells page. This is Don and his butt buddy TM. Well, that's not Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? It's all alleged. But Don's definitely got a crush on Tim. And I don't know. I think he thinks that like Tim's a like good, successful guy who has it all together, and somebody that Dawn looks up to or desires to be. I have no friggin' idea. But then you see crap like this on the Find Summer Wells page. Many YouTubians, he thinks he's really clever with that. YouTubians feel the Wells should never smile. By the way, nobody's ever said that before. Let me see. No, I didn't see Mary's. Hold on. Where? I don't see it. How'd I say what with a straight face? That they have a crush on each other? It's easy. Because it's probably true. I don't know. I didn't see Mary's thought or her comment. Let me see. Uh-oh. There's a raccoon on her roof. Anyway, I don't know what it said. Yeah, no, I understand that. She's welcome to call the show, obviously, if she would like. So anyway, this says, many YouTubians, however, humor is good medicine when the stomach ache never quits hurting because you drink a bunch of alcohol and have smoked a lot of crack in your life and, the stomach ache never quits hurting because you love and miss your family. Here is Don, total proof that he has been thrown under the bus. Yeah, he posed. So, first of all, he's not under the bus. He's on the side of the bus. He would have to get under the bus to be under the bus. He's not under the bus. He's on the side of the bus laying there while a 70-year-old dude takes a picture of him. And it's on the Find the Summer Wells page. And they think that that's funny. And first of all, and I'm just going to say it's not funny for a couple of reasons. But first of all, it's just not funny. It's not like a funny joke. This whole get away from the kiddie bus. Where you guys just find a little kiddie bus on the side of the road somewhere? I mean, what the hell is that about? It's like a little kiddie bus. All right. So this right here, Find Summer Wells. Many YouTubians feel the Wells should never smile. And by the way, he's being a jerk by saying that. Nobody's ever said that they can't smile. But I'll tell you what they shouldn't be doing is getting hammered and doing drugs and not looking for their child and complaining about everything except, they don't complain. They're not complaining about anything other than this. They're mad at the YouTubians, which I find laughable. He's mad at us. We'll get back to that in a second. And KP Baz, let me see. Yeah. Don Wells falls for bros easily. It broke his heart. Yeah, I don't think so. He did tell me one time he cared for me, though. That was nice. It was actually a really nice thing for him to say. Don smiles. Yeah, he's stupid. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, Josh. This is Mary.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So somebody said in the chat that you're now under the impression, And, and you and I have spoke before, but, so what is your theory?
Okay, well, I don't know why. I was in my kitchen last night, Josh, okay, and I was making brownies for my husband.
Nice.
And I don't know, I was just going over things, and all of a sudden it was like I got a slap upside the head. Like literally somebody slapped me and was saying, "Wake up. This is what happened." And I just kept telling myself, he sold her. And I'm sure a lot of people in the chat want to know my theory and why I'm saying this.
Sure.
And I really do think that it started when he came to Utah. For some reason, Donnie was in need of money, okay? Because every time I went over there and he was arguing with my dad, fighting with my dad, it was over money. He kept telling him that he owed him. He owed him the house. He wanted him to give him the house. He owed it to him. And I don't know why. Maybe for a drug debt. I don't know. I don't know why Donnie needed the money. And then I started thinking about it, and people are saying that he was acting funny like a week before she went missing.
Well, so since that was talked about, feel free to bring that up, by the way. And maybe Don B's watching. I don't know if he is or not, but maybe he'll see this. But
right.
Feel free. No, I mean, it was talked about, right?
Yeah, we've talked about this. And so, so I do think that, that this was planned probably a week or two before she went missing. And then there was also the thing on Ziggy with his sister Sonia. He was crying. And he was saying that he knows what they're doing to her, where she's at. She's in a motel. They're beating the crap out of her. They're sexually assaulting her. And his sister Sonia kept saying, "Don't go there. That's stupid. Quit saying that." So that's another thing that leads me to think that he sold her. And then also there was the interview with Cher when she was kept telling him, "Well, let's set up, a GoFundMe and have people donate and raise $20,000 to get your daughter back, 30,000, 40,000, whatever it takes." And Donnie's response to that was, "No, we can't do that. It's too late." So that's another thing, that leads me to that. To think that, told her. And then there's her dancing around the barrel, that for sale sign. If you watch that very, very carefully, that clip, somebody is directing her to do that. You can clearly tell somebody, whoever is recording her, is directing her to do that. And that's another reason. I don't know. Maybe it was on Craigslist. Maybe it was the dark web. But in my opinion, I really do think that he sold her. And I don't know why. Like I said last night, I was just standing there thinking about stuff. And it was like a slap upside the head. He sold her. He needed money for something. I don't know what. If it was a drug debt or whatever, but he sold her. That's just my opinion.
Does any of this, excuse me, go back to when he allegedly tried to sell Donnie Jr.? Does that?
Well, yeah, that kind of fits in with it because, it's just, and it's not just the kids, selling the kids. They're trying to sell the kids. It's everything. When he needs money, especially for his drugs or a drug debt, he would go through the whole family and rip everybody off. He would come into our yards at night. He would take, our lawnmowers. He went to my mom and dad's house. He took their TVs, their VCRs, their wedding rings and pawned them. He took my dad's gun and went and robbed a store with it and then pawned it when he was done.
Wait a minute.
So,
So he stole a gun. He went
Yes,
and robbed a
from my dad's
store
fault.
and then pawned the gun.
Yep.
Did he get caught?
Oh, yeah. Yes, he got caught. Yes, he was jailed for that. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I never knew about that one. How long do you know how
Yeah,
long he went
yeah.
to jail for that one for?
I believe 6 months or so he was in jail for that one.
For armed robbery and stealing a gun and then selling the gun? Look, that is behavior that is on a whole new level.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything quite like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he done some wild things. I can tell you right now. Once he broke into a vet's office just right up the street from my mom and dad's house and was shooting up that ketamine.
No.
He got in trouble for that too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that is drug addict behavior though.
Well,
I think-
yeah, it is. It's really sad, but Donnie will never, ever get off the drugs. Never. But, I just wanted to call in and let everybody know why I kind of feel and why I'm going towards this. Because I feel that this started when he came to Utah. He needed money for something. I don't know why. I don't know what. But there was something that needed to be paid that he needed to do, and I believe he told her.
Yeah, so I've said this before, and I will say it again, and obviously that's your opinion, and nothing is proven. But my biggest issue is how, like, as much as I don't like Don or think that he is a degenerate or whatever, I still struggle with the fact that somebody could sell their child. And for some reason in my mind, and I could be 100% wrong, which I am all the time. And maybe it's just me thinking that would he really do that? I mean, you know him better than I do.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him, Josh. I would not put it past him, not as far as I could throw him. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know. Josh, it was really weird. I mean, I'm standing there making brownies for my husband, okay? And just thinking about all the things that he has said and everything that's come out and everything that's coming to light. And it's like I just kept telling myself, he sold her. He sold her. I know he did. It was planned. And if you would just put the pieces together with the cell barrel video and everything that he said and everything I pointed out, he sold her.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, selling a kid, I mean, wouldn't that fall under trafficking? What is that? I mean, would that be considered trafficking?
That could, yeah. Yeah, well, sure.
Because I think that there would be, and then this is just me. I think that there would be more of a trail.
Right.
But like I said, that's just me. I don't know. I mean, you know him way better than I do, and I'm sorry about that. But it just blows my mind that.
Well, and that's another thing, Josh. I mean, me and Donnie hung out together when we were kids.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice, did you?
And even after. I said, well, when we were kids, and even after when I even got with my husband and got married and started having kids, we still hung out. You know, I still always tried to go over there and help them when Pam was having her kids and, you know, all that stuff. And when me and my husband bought our house, we started remodeling. Donnie came over. He done the drywall in our home for us, you know. So, I mean, I was 4 years old when I met Donnie, you know. So I've known him my whole life, and we're only a month apart. I mean, we went to the same classes. We went to the same school in junior high.
Really?
You know?
He looks 15 years older than you do.
Right?
But I think he kind of looks like that. He's a. What'd you think? Did you see that thing that Tim Mullen put on Facebook?
Which one?
The one I was just showing about him under the bus.
I didn't even know that he had put that on there till you just showed it. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
What do you think about that? How do you feel about that?
That is just, I think he's just trying to get sympathy or something.
Yeah, I think he's just being a dick.
Yeah. I
mean, he's just being a jerk.
He's letting everybody. Yeah.
Taunting. To me, it's taunting. It's, you know, like this whole thing, you know, oh, well, many YouTubians feel the whale should never smile. I've never heard one person say anything like that. I don't care if they smile or not, but they better have a smile on their face while they're searching for their children and talking to law enforcement, or searching for their child and talking to law enforcement, you know, as much as needed, calling to check up on the case. And they don't do any of that, by the way. And don't let Tim Mullen people let you believe that that's true, because it's not true.
Right.
It's just not. I mean, I'm under the impression that they don't cooperate with law enforcement at all.
Well, of course they don't, you know, and even after she went missing and them phone calls, all them phone calls I had with Donnie right after she went missing. You know, I had asked Donnie one time, you know, and Candace, I guess he had it on speaker because I could hear Candace in the background too, because I was kind of talking to her also. And I was asking him, I'm like, so have you called like TBI or the cops or FBI or whoever's in charge, and, you know, to see if they have any updates? And Candace's reply was, no, I haven't talked to them for months. You know, and it had only been, 2 or 3 months at the time of the phone call. And then Donnie breaks in and he says something to the effect of, oh, yeah, I talked to him like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, oh, but I was like thinking, yeah, right, bullshit. You know, I know better.
Right. Yeah. So, no, I absolutely. It's somebody in the chat right here just said to ask about, are you familiar with Candace's friend April M? I don't know.
I'm not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I don't. Yeah, I have no idea.
Have you met Candace before?
No, I haven't.
Right.
No,
like,
she actually did go to. So, yeah, I mean, I've talked to her over the phone a few times, but I've never seen her in person. But she did go to my mom's though that day that they were on that layover.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was a lovely visit.
I'm sure, right? Yeah. Well, my mom still wasn't too thrilled. I can tell you that much right now.
It would be hard to be thrilled about it, but well, you know, that is an interesting. Yeah. I thought that you were going to bring up what Don B was talking about the other day with Tucker Drywall.
Well, yeah, I was going to bring that up too, but I don't know. You know, Don B just the other night he was on Prayer Garden of America, and he was saying that he had talked to Tucker Drywall, and they told him that a week prior, before she came up missing, Donnie was writing all kinds of stuff on the drywall that he was doing. and in the mud and stuff on the walls, writing really weird stuff, like a week prior to before she came up missing. And I don't know what it was that he was writing all over the walls or whatever, or in the mud, but Tucker said he was acting really weird and writing weird stuff and sayings all over the walls. So,
wow.
And that's another thing that made me think that it was planned, because if he was doing this a week before she went missing, he knew about it. He knew something was coming up. You know, he was going to do it. And he even said himself on that one phone call to me, I've been in California in hotel rooms where they've got people in there, kids, and selling kids, and
I remember hearing that. No, I remember hearing that. And but then if you go back to when he talked to Chris, and Chris said, have you been to places where they've sold kids? And he said, never in my life.
Right.
And
yeah,
then he tells
of course
you,
he's going to say that.
And then he tells you, Mary, I've been to places where they've sold kids. And you're like, well, how the hell do you end up there?
Yeah, so he's probably got connections. Right there it tells you. He's got connections to them type of people.
I think my next question
You know what I mean?
would be, you know, if it is true that he has been to places that has sold kids, why didn't you tell the cops?
Right. Yeah,
if
exactly.
you knew that something like that was going on, if that's true, if he really does, like, how do you not, you just ignore that? Like, that's something that you just ignore?
Right. Yeah, because, I mean, he even said it himself on that phone call. And he's been sitting in hotel rooms, and they're selling kids, sexually assaulting them, and he's sitting right there watching the whole thing. Why would he even be in a place like that? Because that's the way Donnie is.
Jeez. Yeah. And I mean, that came out of his own mouth.
Yep. Sure did.
It's like, what was he doing there?
Yeah.
I mean, did he ever mention why he was there?
Oh, I don't think he ever did say why he was there. He just said that he's in them places before. So, you know, that right there should tell you something.
Right. No, it's just so weird. Well,
yeah.
We'll get Don B and we will ask him about the Tucker drywall thing. We'll get a little more clarification on it.
Yeah. See, maybe if Tucker told him, you know, what he was writing on the walls and all that. So.
It's like how it's when Aerosmith wrote "Dream On" in blood on the hotel walls. I mean, it's just that's drug addict behavior.
Yeah.
So
well, you know,
I don't even know what to think
and
of
like,
it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
anyways, yeah.
Right.
I think everybody just needs to go back and listen to all the stuff he said here and there, and
yeah, there's a lot there.
Two and two together.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling, Mary. I appreciate it as always. We'll
You're
talk
welcome.
soon.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Have a good night.
Bye, Mary. Go ahead. Thank you for holding.
Wow. Well, that was quite a call to follow up with Mary. That's a wonderful, and just to explain where I'm calling from. I tune into Josh every once in a while. I'm a fan, I gotta say, because I feel like every time, you know, your channel is on or something, there's something riveting or like there's something just changing. You've got Don on the phone. He's yelling at you. He's hammered.
you know, and you get to say whatever you kind of want to him, and it's incredible. But I mean, just from hearing Mary's opinion and that gut feeling of, you know, making brownies for her husband and just thinking about things, and that like really, you know, it to just the sign of her, like for sale, all these little intricate things that have come across here just from Mary's standpoint. And I understand your point too. Like, well, wouldn't there be a trail of some sort? I mean, this guy sounds like absolute fucking Looney Tunes. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Sorry.
No, you're not allowed to, but you did. It's
but
okay.
he just. Sorry. I will hone in on that.
We'll give you a mulligan.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Like from her. What was that?
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Okay. It's just what you're saying too. Typical drug behavior, and this guy who's like riding in the mud and all these really insane things that just seem very typical drug behavior. But you know, you asking, could he possibly do that? Could he possibly sell a child? Outsider looking in, even from looking in on your show, this guy seems like the type of guy that's going to sell a child.
Well,
regardless if it's
just because of the drug addiction.
Listening to him, Josh. Listening to him. I mean, throw the drug addiction in there too. That honestly has a huge factor into this whole selling a child, because I think that it's, from just my opinion, I think that it's a lot easier to be done in those types of places in the United States, unfortunately, where it is just pure word of mouth exchange. There's no trail, you know. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I initially called. Yeah, sorry.
No, I'll just tell you why. So, like I said, Mary knows Don much better than I do. But the one thing that would really, you know, the trafficking of a child, when you have the card team there, and they're called out about 12 times a year. Okay, so like once a month. They're very highly trained folks, and they have like a 90% of the time they get some sort of answer, right? Like, well, maybe even more than that. They didn't find a shred. And what I mean by a shred is saying they didn't find a shred of evidence that she was trafficked or sold. It is the way that I took it. Now, is that 100%? No, but you know, it's good. It's good intel. They know what they're doing. I think that they would have some sort of idea, like, yeah, we may not know what happened, but this is the direction that we're leaning. They literally like erased their whiteboard and said, nothing like that. We got nothing. So I don't know. That's the confusing part.
My question to you is, okay, so even when you and Mary were talking just now, and you know, you kind of had to go there in your mind where you're like, okay, I don't know, just based off of talking, do I think he would do that? Are you kind of saying you think he might be like just way too dumb to pull that off?
No,
because I'm not discrediting. Okay.
No,
okay.
I don't think he.
What
I don't
is,
think
like-
it's too. I don't think he's too dumb. I don't think he. Okay, I think he's dumb, but I don't think he's too dumb
Yeah.
to. I want to be careful about how I say this. Like,
Okay.
I think that it really isn't specifically Dawn that I have the issue with. It's the selling of the child. I'm like that is about as bad as a person can get. You know what I mean by that? I mean, it's just awful to even think about. Now, all of it's bad, and there are degrees of that in there. Do I think that somebody that's addicted to drugs that way is capable? Yes. Do I think Dawn did that? I don't. And the reason is...
Okay.
Well, the reason isn't because I think that he's some holy saint or whatever. I just think that I'm the accident cover up theory, because what was happening in that house, it was accidents waiting to happen left and right. It rises to the top of probability. It is the most logical explanation for what happened. And the abduction theory is their way of admitting no wrongdoing, because they can't say, well, you know, we were outside and, you know, we let Summer run down the hill. We weren't paying attention, and, you know, just say like she got hit by a car. Okay. It's like, well, why weren't you paying attention to her? So what they come up with is this theory, or this, you know, they're positive that somebody took her. They're positive. Well, if you didn't see it happen, then you can't be that positive. You may think that happened, or you may think that is the likely scenario, but to sell out and just completely say, no, man, I'm telling you, she's not here. She was kidnapped. Somebody came up here and took her. Well, why? Well, because that's the only thing that I can tell you that's not going to get me in trouble. For now.
Okay. Fair enough. I hear you on that. Okay. I do. The only thing that I kind of came up in my mind was, this might sound like I'm coming off. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, okay, so if you maybe think that, you know, sex trafficking, checking up, you know, maybe once a month for the last 12 months or so, but like checking up on that property, if it's an accident, like how good are they at covering up an accident?
Dawn, did you hear when Mary said that? That he stole his dad's gun, robbed the store, and then pawned it?
Yeah.
Now,
right.
It isn't like I've said this before.
Yeah.
The hiding of a body isn't really that difficult. People do it all the time.
But like finding one.
What's that?
Finding one, you know, I guess that's.
Well, here's
a needle in a haystack.
the hills of Tennessee are thick. And it's not like people go hiking through those certain areas. It's not like there's not a lot of well-traveled areas. There's just not. There are places that Dawn knows about probably, and Candace knows about, and just locals in general that all know that, there are these places everywhere. There can be wells, there can be just all kinds of different stuff. And so the hiding itself isn't like that big of an accomplishment. Like I said, there were two teens that hid their friend after they killed her. And those teens finally confessed to where she was. It took them 9 months. She was on the side of a road up a mountain. They didn't know where to look. You don't know where. If you don't know where to look, you don't know where to look.
Right.
So,
yeah, I'm so embedded into a case that's local to me. It's Kelly Nolan, but it's the same. It's sad. Nobody knows who killed her. It was 2007, and she was on the side of a road, like on a lady's property that super elderly, had no visitors, and right from downtown Madison, 10 minutes away, right to this place. God, it's like, and it's infuriating because we don't have answers, and I just kind of wished somebody would have confessed. That's the thing that I'm knee deep into myself personally, but just wish people would do the right thing and not play God as hard as they do.
Right. It's just terrible. Yeah. The price of life is cheap, apparently, for a lot of people, and that's just a terrible way to live and treat others. Like I said,
wholeheartedly.
Dawn's a criminal. Candace is a criminal. They're guilty of a lot of things, including obviously neglect of children, or they wouldn't have had their children taken from them. All of them.
So what's next? What's next? Like, what is the pressure? Is it pretty much primarily dependent on finding her?
No.
And that's it. Because this guy's making posts under buses. Come on. This isn't a comedy.
Dawn's biggest problem is going to be the CPS case that should be concluding soon. Now, when I say soon, I'm saying, relatively soon. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm not just guessing in the dark. I do think that it is coming to a close soon. And that is when I think this case moves forward. What do the boys know? They're not asking for they're really not asking for any information, which would tell me one thing. They don't really need any more.
Right.
Like, obviously they want to find Summer, but they have been looking in the woods, waterways, not recently, but that's where all the searches were taking place. Why would they be looking in the middle of nowhere for a little girl a year after she goes missing, or 8 months after she goes missing? Just places of interest. Like, they didn't just pick those places out. They're looking for her body. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, they're not looking for her alive. They never had, or they never have. And that's a terrible thing to realize, but they are going on the assumption, or off the assumption, in my opinion, that Summer is no longer here. And that's why this case is taking the amount of time that it has, because there's no urgency. They want to get it right. They have to get it right. So
Right.
You know, but I can guarantee it all is in one melting pot, meaning the CPS case, Summer, charges, it's all somehow intertwined. And Detective Pruitt has said that, and I think the way that he said it, it's probably an understatement.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Like, I think it's a lot more
it does.
It's a lot more serious than him, you know, because I mean, you know, when he talks and it's kind of it's cavalier. He's like, you know, he's just doesn't have a lot of not emotion or anything like that, but it's just the way that he kind of delivers it. And he says, you know, like they bleed into each other. Well, I think the word bleeding into another means that they're just intertwined completely. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is what it is. Well, I thank you for your call. And is this the first time you called?
Hey, thank you. It is the first time I've called. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. I love first time callers and I love long time callers. One time somebody called.
I'll try to call again.
Well, one time somebody called into a show and they said first time list, or what did they say? First time listener, long time caller. I just hung up on them.
No, you didn't. I'm here.
Yes, I did.
Hello.
Okay. Take care.
Oh.
I think she thought I was talking about her. I was talking about somebody else. First time caller, or what is it? Long time caller, first time listener. Something like that. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Sorry, I just had an epitome. I had to call you.
Oh, you did? You had one? I've had a couple of those. I took an antacid for it.
Then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.
That's just too much.
Yeah, I had that epitome. Yeah. I had to hit the number.
You had one. I don't blame you, man. We've all had epitomes before. What are you up to?
Just nothing. Just watching this great show on now. I think he goes by the Lab.
Did you know that you apparently are a person of interest in this case, according to Don and Tim?
That was news to me when they let me know, but I'm glad they filled me in on this inside information they have. Yeah.
That's crazy. You made yourself a suspect, apparently. Well, it was just one of the weirdest things. And basically, Don was telling you, or Tim, to be careful what you say because law enforcement's watching.
Yeah, he said that my words are going to come back to haunt me.
Oh, really? Like that Don's a piece of crap and that he doesn't care, that he hasn't looked, or that he's a drunk, or that he's ugly, or that he looks like he smells like pee, or, I mean, what words are going to come back to bite you?
I mean, that's a good question. I think his words are going to come back about him, or they may already have behind the scenes.
Maybe it's the pee one.
Maybe that's what you should be worried about.
Maybe I'll get in trouble for saying that he smells, or he looks like he smells like pee. That's a hard thing to pull off, by the way.
I think that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. He may have pushed it there.
Right. I mean, they're just, I hope that law enforcement is watching, but even more so, how about this Find Summer Wells Facebook page that is now turned into a mockery? What do you think about that?
That page, that has always frustrated me, and I've probably have messages I could bring up with Tim asking him why they don't use that as it's presented, because for a long time now they've used it. Now it's a whole new level, but they used it for a while as Don and Candace damage control. they would share YouTube videos or random magazine articles that claimed their innocence, and that's all they'd put on there. It was never anything about Summer. It's on Summer Wells, but it had nothing to do with her.
Right.
And now it's to the point of, we're posing under buses or beside buses and calling out YouTubians and all that good stuff.
Yeah, YouTubians. That was funny. Many, many moons ago, in this case, that was a word that Tim used with me. He told me that, first of all, like something that I reminded him of Rush Limbaugh or something. I don't know, something's whatever. I don't know what that means. I think it might have been a fat joke, but I'm not really sure. And then it was a Fox News, whatever. And then he said the word YouTubians, and I was like, what? YouTubians? It's just like, dude, you got a lot of weird little. If he wasn't so smug and arrogant and like thumb his nose up at people like he does so often, he does believe. Tim believes that he's smarter than everybody, and especially in the YouTubian utopia. Can I say that? But like, this isn't even a funny joke, and it's not like, take out the offensiveness of, Don, playing around with his buddy, but the joke itself isn't funny. And I wish.
No, it's just a bad joke.
It's just dumb. It's just stupid. It's not even funny, but they think that is funny. Don was probably cracking up at that, thought it was a good one. And it's not. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen people act like this before. Never. And when their child is missing and they think that this is okay. Like, so Brandy and Tyler were attacked for months, and I believe they still do get some attacks, unfortunately, but not as bad as it had been, I guess. And don't quote me on that, but
right.
Can you imagine, like, Tyler lying there while Brandy took the picture and like goofing off? Like, that's what they're doing. They're goofing off.
That'd be insane, but here it's somehow okay. Like,
yeah, they're goofing off, and it's weird. Let's see here. Let's zoom in on this big dummy. Okay. Can you see can you see it any better now? You might be a little behind. Hold on. He's not even under the bus. Like, he's on the side of the bus.
No, I mean, he's like the side of it. Yeah.
All right.
He's too scared it's going to roll over on him.
Oh, man.
There's going to be a YouTuber driving it.
I would just love for like a deer to walk up and just like fire hose him. Just take a pee right on him. But yeah, this is, YouTubians don't want us to smile. They will throw us under the bus. Her. Like, shut up, dude. So stupid. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah, and like the smile thing was so stupid. Like you said, nobody's ever said that.
What's
I
that?
don't care if he smiles, but I'd rather him smile while, he picks up the phone when Fox News tries to get him national attention, or, smiles while he goes out and searches for his missing child, or, smiles while he picks up the phone for TBI. Maybe smile then.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, I don't know. It's just not even that funny. It's just not a funny joke.
No.
But once again, put away is it offensive? Yeah, I mean, I would not want to do that, but it's just not even funny. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting thrown under the bus. No, then somebody said give PG the keys. No, then we'd be investigating another case. the case of the Christian school bus driver, part 1. Now on Netflix.
Yeah, so then Tim
Then
really
all
would
of a
have
sudden,
a Netflix show.
you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.
Why is everything like? Where did they find? Were they just driving down the street and they saw that bus like that? And it was a photo op.
I guess they saw this bus and Tim was probably like, oh, this is perfect for a stupid joke I've been thinking about for the last 4 months.
Hey Don, I got my camera. Go lay under that kid's bus.
All right, Tim. Just got to get home in time to meet the crack dealer.
I bet you Tim told him to do that. He's like, "Hey Don, you should go lay under that bus, and I'll take a picture, and then we'll tell everybody that you've been thrown under the bus." And then,
oh, without a doubt, Tim could tell him to do anything, and he'll do it. He loves that man.
it would be funnier if he actually got under the bus, and you can only like see his head sticking out, or if he accidentally laid in bear crap. That would have been funny. We'll never know, but that would have been awesome. And then, but yeah, he's not even under the bus. It's not even funny. Come on, like if you're gonna do a joke, like at least sell out for it. But they would never do that. They're stupid, all of them. Julie says, "That'll be so funny, brother." And tomorrow's the Sabbath, and we're going to be covering something very important tomorrow on the lab, and it's going to be on the Sabbath too.
Well, see, here's the great thing. Here in Tennessee, it already is the Sabbath. So,
is it? What time is it? Oh,
really?
really?
Since you do your shows
Well,
later,
happy
it's already
Sabbath,
the
brother.
Happy Sabbath.
He wanted to just stab me in the back. You stabbed me in the back, you dirty end.
Yeah. Did you notice that we were talking about the suspect thing? Did you notice that in those messages I had with Don a few days ago, he said he wasn't a suspect? In the process of telling me I was?
Yes. He never thinks he's a suspect. Where's all the other suspects?
No.
Where's all the, are there other suspects? Does anybody know about any other suspects? I haven't heard of any.
Well, he has a million suspects. You know, he's got a whole list.
Yeah, Candace.
Yeah.
But
here's my thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead with what you were saying. I was going to bring up another point, so go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say the whole what you were talking about earlier about how they're so convinced she was taken, right? That's like they're 100% sold on the fact she was abducted, or that's what they say.
Right.
But it's like, if they were innocent in this, 100% had no idea. Saying that they're 100% sure that she was abducted only hurts the investigation, at least publicly, because people are going to listen to that and take it. That's like if your car was stolen, very different, but if your car was stolen yesterday and you just decided that this guy that lives in your neighborhood took it, you have no idea if that's the person. Well, they're going to go over there and look at the person in your neighborhood, and they're not going to be looking at the guy that actually took it. You have no idea who took it.
Right.
So it's this idea of they're so sure that she was taken. It's like, how is that not? To me, that was a red flag. Like,
right, and the over insisting of
how
it
does
is
he know?
right. The over insisting, like we think that somebody's like, no, this happened. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think so. But you
can have your theories, like just like we do.
You gotta stop throwing them under the bus,
course, just like we would. But yeah, then you just got to throw him under the bus. But instead, he's going to throw this magical abductor under the bus to save himself. And so he's going to lay beside the bus, under the bus, with the bus. But then he's going to be so persistent that somebody took her and have no basis for it. He wasn't even home. He knows. Okay, if he was truthfully at work all day, he knows as much about what happened as we do, as far as actually seeing what happened.
All right.
He was all the way in Jonesboro, right? How's he gonna know?
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Did his dog trail sensors go
Hey, brother Tim, I changed the oil on your bus. I'm all done. You look so stupid. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Hold on, I can pull it up. Where I called it's on the call, but I can pull up the screen.
Yeah, I see it. I got duty on my hands,
Well,
brother.
hey, his hand was thrown under the bus.
What's that?
So apparently we've thrown his hand under the bus.
Yeah,
we
what
don't throw him
is-
under the bus? Just his hand. We have thrown.
What is his hand doing? What is he? I don't understand what he's
filling out that
doing.
bus.
Yeah, just the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
He goes, my kids used to sing this song to me. It was the wheels on. They said they learned it in school.
He's just like, I don't get it, but anyway. All right, Trevor. Well, thanks a lot, man, for calling. I appreciate it as always. And
Absolutely.
when's your next?
Glad that my epitome was able to.
Are you doing a live anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm going to try to have more next week. I've been swamped in schoolwork, but I want to get at least 2 in next week. So
beautiful.
Probably Monday.
Sounds good, man.
All righty. Well, I'll hop off here, but I appreciate you having me on and letting my epitome come to light.
Yeah, man.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.
Yep. That's what I've heard.
Then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.
Do buses have Cadillac converters? Is that what he's doing? He's stealing one of those? Oh, wow. Yeah, Don's always in the top 10. That's funny. Bye, Trevor. All right, guys. Well, this was an impromptu live, and I appreciate you guys showing up. Tomorrow, we're going to be on at 6:30. So there's a lab and a lab after dark tomorrow. 6:30, 9:30. Be there. It'll be very, very interesting. I promise you. I know what she meant. She got it completely wrong. That's all right, though. That's totally fine. She's allowed to do that. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There's not, really?
Yeah, he's trying to get a Cadillac.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There's not, really? It is to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
but I have to put her on the side and where with the boys.
Then all of
I'm
a
gonna
sudden,
do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while
Don't say
they're
any
able to
F's
come
and
up on your
stuff.
panel.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua
Then all of a
Diaz.
sudden, then all of a
no
sudden,
investigation.
then
This
all of a
boy
sudden,
has.
There's not, really?
then all of a
It
sudden,
is to me.
But I have to put her
then all of a sudden, then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel. Then all of a sudden,
but I have to
then all of a sudden,
There is no investigation.
then all of a sudden,
Don't say any F's and
then
stuff.
all of a sudden,
but I have to put her on the side and where about the boys.
then all of a sudden, you got this epitome while they're able to come up on your panel.